What we're going to use now is the front kick. We're going to show some targets and some basic self-defense applications for it. The first one that we're going to use is if he extends his arm, if you go all the way to his body and up into his arm, is a point called heart 1. This is a very sensitive point. It's almost in the armpit. When even just squeezing it with your thumb is a little bit painful. Kicking this point, aside from the pain that it will induce, will also dislocate his shoulder. So one way that we get to that point is if he punches, we step out, and with our front kick, preferably with the toes, we kick up into it. We can use the ball of the foot, but the toes will be much more painful. And it sets up perfectly for a follow-up shot. All right, so watch one more time. He punches, step out, straight up into the armpit, front kick. Second application for the front kick is going to go to what's known as the solar plexus, or CV14. Solar plexus is a very sensitive spot in the body because it controls the lungs and the heart function. A lot of different nerves cross into there. The problem is if he's standing straight, just drop your arms, and I throw a kick, I'm going to slide up him. So what I need to do is get him into a bent position. So if he was to choke me, and I could bring him down into this position, I could snap the front kick in either with the ball of the foot or with the toes shooting in. So what I'm doing is I'm grabbing his wrists, bringing him down, and kicking. So as he chokes, I grab his wrists, bring him down, and kick. In this particular situation, if his head came down so far, I would bring his head up with my knee and then finish with the kick to the solar plex. So sometimes if you're very strong or do it really excellent, he'll come down a little too far, just straighten him up with the knee, extend the kick out. Third application for the front kick. Push. As we come to the side, we did the leg point that we did before, the front kick can shoot right in. So he comes in, he can push or punch. If he was here, I can go to the outside of the thigh, or I could come up to the ribs in the corner. If he drops his elbow, we have liver 13 right here, and we have 2 more rib points right above it. So anywhere where my palm is sensitive, is a good target. So when he throws his punch, we step out, ball of the foot or toes. If you notice something, watch his body reaction. If I use the ball of the foot, he feels it. If I use the toes, it's a little bit sharper. Of course, I can kick harder with the ball of the foot because I don't have to worry about my toes, but if I had shoes on, that wouldn't matter. So these are some applications for our front kick. We're going to do some applications now for the roundhouse kick. The roundhouse kick, the first point that we're going to use is the side of the waist, the liver 13 point, or the liver gallbladder points in the ribs. So again, that whole corner region where your elbow is, there's so many points there, it's a perfect target. So again, as he either pushes or punches, we step off, and we put the foot in either ball of the foot or the toes, shooting into the spot. So he comes in, move, and kick. Now, we're practicing with punches, but if he was to choke me or grab me, let's say he choked me, I would move off the same way, throw my kick into the same point. Remember also that kicking is, just like everything else, a piece of the puzzle. After I threw my kick, we could set him up for a follow-up. If we wanted to, we could come to the exact same rib point with our knee and strike him again. Or we can throw him, or we can hit him with our hands. We have lots of options at that point. The second spot that we aim for the roundhouse kick is the corner of the jaw. Obviously, if you're not very flexible, you're not a very good kicker, this one would be out for you. But you do have opportunities if, let's say, he was choking and you were able to bring him down a little bit. Now, even if I wasn't a very high kicker, I can get up there. So what I'd like to do, if he pushes, come around, ball of the foot, right underneath the jaw on the stomach 5 point. All right, so one more time, bring him down, boom, right underneath. Excellent shot. Okay? So there's our roundhouse kick. Next kick we're going to do is the reverse roundhouse. Reverse roundhouse is exactly like the roundhouse, but it twists in the opposite direction. So the first point we're going to do is, again, the liver gallbladder points below the chest and the one in the corner of the waist. So we have 3 points we can go for. That gives us a very big surface area. It's always a good spot to aim. Whenever we hit pressure points, we want to try to aim for points where there's more than one in the area. This way, if you're a little off, you have a good chance of hitting at least 1 point. If you focus on a spot where there's only 1 point in the area and you miss, sometimes you're left with nothing. All right, so when he comes in with his punch, we shift to the side and reverse roundhouse across. One more time. Shift, reverse roundhouse. The same kick can be done if he was, let's say, choking. We can make him release with our fingertips and reverse roundhouse to his jaw. So rather than bringing my foot all the way up, I bring his head down so that I could kick in my power level. So he chokes, I spear with my fingers into his belt line, reverse roundhouse to the corner of his jaw.